Hello, and welcome to the Star Wars trailer-themed... oh, the music died out. Episode of the Exit Only Theater podcast. I'm JP Leigh, and across from me is...
Adrian Alderete.
And we have our very special guest, returning visitor...
Jonathan Fisher.
All right. I think we should just jump right into this. Because the entire world is running all over this story.
Why are we here?
Why are we here? Okay, let's get a little context.
Star Trek 3!
7. So last night, ESPN's Monday Night Football premiered the newest trailer for Star Wars The Force Awakens. And before I get into any details, I have to say this is the first time I have ever seen something so collectively consumed by so many people at the same time, which is kind of cool. It's refreshing.
It's like a good drop of acid.
It's like old-fashioned...
This is like Woodstock. A Star Wars Woodstock.
It's like old-fashioned television. Like, 30 million people used to tune into like soap operas. Yeah. It's kind of cool to see that now. It's old school. I love it. That being said, holy shit.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we, like the millions of Americans who slept through the terrible NFL game that had as many turnovers as Star Wars episodes, 7 for those of you who are keeping count, we see a new look at the Star Wars universe. So I would like to take a little roundtable discussion and see what everyone's first reactions in 7 words or less. That is the stipulation, so we can keep things moving. I'm going to save Adrian for last, because I literally saw his initial reaction, and I want to see how that's expressed in 7 words or less.
Planet Earth saw my reaction.
So I'd go with Jonathan first. What was your initial reaction in a short little soundbite?
Award-winning.
Ooh, okay.
Super solid.
Okay.
Grandiose realism.
Oh!
I'm going to break that down really quick.
Okay.
I think it's definitely going to win some awards for Oscars. I'm calling it.
For technical or for... Because technically these films have always
I could see it being nominated for Best Picture.
Oh!
Yeah.
What?
I'm calling it.
He is... Okay. You
and then the grandiose realism is... It was such a grand, like, trailer and the world he created, but at the same time it looks so real and, like, we could actually, like, be there. And,
it's
like,
grounded.
There. It's grounded, but giant.
It's weird. It's weird that you would say that because my first reaction was John Williams is back. Holy shit! That's only 6 words, but that was my initial reaction. But I decided to be a little more developed with it, and my second and more developed reaction was the universe looks so fucking real. That was weird. And that's weird that he said that. And I don't know if that's because we appreciate J.J. Abrams more than our counterpart to across the table, but I have to just agree with everything you said. Like, I really do feel like it has the potential to be like a pretty sizable contender if the trailer and the film coincide.
Match up, yeah.
So, Adrian, go for it.
Like, there's plenty. Like, this is the thing. Like, you could go any route with my 7 words. You can literally say anything.
Is it a sentence?
Yeah, like I'm like, what do I do? Do I make fun of the football game? You know, but no, honestly, walking away from that trailer, the 7 words. Well, they're not really 7. There's like I didn't make it to 7.
Okay.
Because it's more just like a gasp of air afterwards. But get down with the Knights of Ren.
Ooh. Oh,
yes.
nice.
Give
some context for that. Get some context.
The villain in the trailer, for everyone that watched the trailer that may or may not know what's going on.
I don't know.
Exactly. So explain it to Jonathan what's going on.
Okay,
as a casual Star Wars viewer.
The guy that you saw on the ship where there's that big red beam of light in front of him, and all of a sudden the camera turns and you see him and he's just like, I'm going to finish what you started. And I'm just like, oh, God. And then the Vader mask came out. He rolls with his crew called the Knights of Ren. They're kind of like, and I've been telling this to people all day today, they're like the Knights Templar when it comes to doing stuff for the Empire. Mm-hmm. So for me, when they had that shot where it's just him and his crew looking, they're about to drop the greatest rap album of all time. I was just like, in the rain.
Like backup dancers.
And I was just like, oh, dude. Now that's what I call music. Yes. Dude, that was my, as you can tell, and for those that saw the video, I am very, 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 very pumped up for this. I don't know if I'm ready to say it's ready for awards or anything. I personally, I don't care.
I don't think it matters to you.
I don't think it matters to me, but at the same time, I hope it does. I'm like, if there's ever, maybe just a big, hilarious, haha, and suck. If George Lucas has no say in the Star Wars universe.
He's still got $4 billion out of the sale or whatever, so I think he's alright.
It'd be a nice moment if they, let's just say, like, hypothetically, if they won an Oscar, that they're like, this is for George. He created this universe.
Up, like, on stage
and then he'd be like, we're making 3 more prequels.
Like, no!
Yes. Oh God.
Okay, so this is, I guess the consensus is it kind of blew our minds. And it seems on Twitter and everywhere else on social media, people seem to devour this.
Yes.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I think ticket sales, I would love to know the numbers, but at this point, we were stuck on processing for 30 minutes.
Yeah, our friend finally bought him. Like, he was 2 hours in, and I don't know how he got through, but we got him the Thursday night 7 o'clock showing.
So,
which I think is, like, impossible. I think only because we're located in Connecticut. If
right,
we were
so
in a
demand
major
may not
market,
have been as high. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like,
that's a good point.
Oh, no. Yeah, but, like, I remember reading on Twitter, like, after... I remember at 7 p.m. is when they went on sale, I believe.
Something early.
And then about right before the trailer was about to drop, Fandango crashed.
Yeah.
And other sites started crashing. And like there was this hilarious meme that I saw of this is Fandango.com right now, and it showed like this Godzilla exploding. And it's amazing.
Could you not have anticipated that? Expand your bandwidth, just like get ready for that.
I mean, they had to. They had to
have been expecting it, but it was weird because even the initial ratings for ESPN had like a 30% increase in viewership between the hours of like 9:45 and 10:30. Like
even though the trailer fucking went online, like a minute later, people were so ecstatic they wanted to like.
It's at 13
They wanted
million.
to experience for the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's that collective viewing experience. You don't get that.
And that's what I'm so excited. Like, even though I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, I'm excited about seeing it opening night for the fandom and just like experience.
Yes.
I honestly do want to see the crazies. Like, I want to see the cosplay and just I absolutely.
You nailed it. Like you said, like it's not only watching a Star Wars movie on opening night. You're watching like think about it. The people that bought the tickets are the people that actually give a damn about seeing Star Wars once again.
Or the people
like
back
in the day, like, there was like lines around the like street corners of people like going like to the second and third one.
We're the next generation of that.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Like, even though when we were kids, when they came out with the remastered versions, it's like say what you want about them, but at the same time, it was fun to see those.
We still get to see them on the
big
screen.
So like now we're back. We're seeing new ones again. Let's skip how we felt about the prequels. Yeah.
I just feel like I'm so glad that like the younger, like the 18 to 21 year olds now get to the kids who were in this movie were 21, 22 years old.
Yeah.
Their version of Star Wars has Jar Jar Binks in it. Like that is so depressing to me that I'm like, thank God someone. Hopefully J.J. Abrams keeps it to what we want it to be, that he gets to reset the clock on this. So.
We had a work friend who was over who I think just turned 23, and he admitted he like hasn't seen the first ones or he's seen parts, and he's just like he watches the trailer, he's like, oh my God, it looks just like the old ones, which is like a crazy thing to say for someone.
No context of it. He's appealing to a very broad audience, and that's pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to jump to the next thing, is that there are two ways to sort of look at this trailer. It's an appreciation of the overall style, and that kind of lends itself to the fact that we love J.J. Abrams in general.
Yeah.
Or you can challenge yourself to figure out what the hell the plot is going to be.
Yeah.
I tend to look at the former because the trailer, unlike the vast majority of current trailers, doesn't kind of divulge the entire plot, which is reassuring. I think that actually respects the audience because they're saying, we know you set the standard so high for this film. We're not going to try to like convince you of it. We're just going to let you know that you can trust us.
Yeah.
And I like that. I'm like, I will spend the money because you respect me enough to tell me to wait. Like, I like that. We're kind of playing a little cat and mouse game for the right reasons.
Did he give the nerds enough, like...
Did he give them enough to chew on?
Did he not?
Okay.
Oh, God.
That's the other point, is that moving on to it, it's like, we could talk about that, but at the same time, like, we want to figure out the plot. So, like, was there enough from, like, the universe and, like you said, the Knights of Ren and things like that are, like, who's gonna be a Jedi? Who's gonna, like, let's just dive into that. Like, what do you think? Like, what are your, like, initial reactions to, like, do you have any plot points that you think you figured out?
Well, based on the trailer, that's like because believe me, like when everybody saw the trailer, fandom exploded. It's just like, oh man, what does this mean? Maybe it means this. Eventually, I started hearing, holy crap, maybe Luke's the bad guy, and it's just like wait a second, based off the trailer that we saw, let's break that down first.
Reel it in a little bit.
That's like the one thing that I'm happy about is that we finally got at least a sense of a very vague plot, and that we're like, okay. We see this young girl. She's looking through the ship. You can tell, okay, she's a scavenger. Like, what's she looking for? All of a sudden, we see Kylo Ren for the first time. We say, okay, this is our antagonist. Holy crap, there's a bunch of stormtroopers now. Wait a second, the Empire's back. All of a sudden, you see them, like, they're kind of attacking the planet that this girl is on. It's like, holy crap. Rey, the character Rey, played by Daisy Ridley. And then you see John Boyega's character, and you hear his dialogue for the first time. We kind of get a sense of, like, he's kind of like this guy who... you know, used to be bad because he was in the Stormtrooper outfit. Now he's good. He's trying to find a new thing to fight for.
Looking for his place, which is interesting.
Then we cut to a shot of when we see Han breaking it down for these kids. He's like, look, everything you heard about the dark side, the Force, is all true, which to me tells me that everything that they, like when it comes to the original trilogy, is turned into myth. Like it's turned into legend.
Enough time
now.
has passed where it's like they don't believe that could exist.
Which I don't really like because it's only been 30 years.
But if you,
that's true. But I'll say this, and I think it's a connection to what, and like it's, and I hope it was intended this way because it'd be brilliant if they did, because they're teaching these kids. Mm-hmm. And they're doing it in a subtle way. They're teaching these kids subtly to where they're actually speaking to the young audience of now.
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
It's like, oh man, Star Wars was really good. My parents, I don't get it.
It's a subtle send up. It is. It's like, no, seriously, you need to know that this was awesome.
Yeah, and that's, to me, I'm like, when you capture that nostalgia.
Yep.
But then that's the one thing that this trailer didn't do. It didn't really go at the nostalgia the way the trailer from Star Wars Celebration did, where it was just like, Chewie, we're home. It's like, no, this one was like, no, we're moving forward. These are your new characters.
Right.
You didn't see Luke per se. You saw his hand, saw R2, but that was it. You see all these new characters, the Knights of Ren, everything. You see there's going to be a big battle on a snow planet, big battle on a sand planet. Maybe
where
we're
those
gonna
fit in, what you have no idea.
Maybe
Absolutely.
we'll meet in Midwest Earth. You know, who knows? Like,
They do seem to be planet hopping more than even the originals.
Yeah, in the originals they only went to a couple planets.
Yeah,
max.
they kind of confined it to a few places. This is kind of cool how they're hopping around a little bit.
But story wise, you could tell it's very clear that it's going to revolve around the character of Daisy Ridley.
Yep.
And the character of John Boyega, Finn's character, where it's like these two youngsters are probably going to be the new, whether they be Jedi or not, they're going to be the new, I guess, resistance to the Empire. And Kylo Ren's after them for some reason that we don't know why. And I like that I don't know why.
Yeah, it's so refreshing not to know. And I mean, at work today, we at the company ended up watching the trailer with probably, I watched it with probably 8 different people and got 8 different reactions, which was really refreshing to see something like so vague but so dialed into this universe that everyone was happy about it.
Oh yeah.
And also incredibly confused, and those weren't conflicting emotions, which was kind of exciting.
It was cool because just like a quick little thing. It's just like when we walked in, even people who are very cynical, who don't really watch movies and stuff like that, they're like, there was this one English dude who's like, "Did you watch the new Star Wars trailer?"
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, he's about to watch it anyway. I'm like, and I would stand up just to make sure. I remember I pointed to you. I'm like, oh, that guy's watching the Star Wars.
Yeah,
trailer.
everyone was just taking 2 minutes out of their time just to watch it. It was
awesome.
Headphones in, headphones out. It was just people were just watching. It was fantastic. Which reminds me of, side note, was the fact that Boyega and Ridley's Instagram accounts.
Oh, yeah.
Adrian brought this to my attention. It's fantastic. And if you guys haven't checked these out yet, go check out their Instagram accounts separately. Yeah. They have reactions to seeing the trailer for the first time. Mm-hmm. And I think it looks like it's the first time they've seen the material compiled in a concise way.
That's awesome.
Ridley starts crying, and Boyega's with one of his buddies, and when you see him and Kylo Ren are about to fight at the end of the trailer, his buddy's like, yes! He's just like freaking out. They're jumping over the couch. It's incredible. It's awesome. It's awesome to see people our age that are in the movie that should be sort of not fazed by it are just as crazy about it, which is also very exciting.
I almost wanted to cry when I saw Ridley's reaction. She was just like,
so earnest.
God. And I'm just like, oh damn.
She's sitting in the covers like a little kid. It was awesome.
It's so cute.
It just made them so endearing as like fairly unknown actors to just be like, oh, they just realize how big that moment is. It's pretty cool.
And somewhere Harrison Ford was just like, God damn, another trailer in front of my football game.
Could you imagine if he's the only person in the country that wanted to watch the game?
God. Clearly the biggest trailer premiere ever, I feel like.
Oh yeah, and it's a cool way to roll it out though.
Yeah.
Because, like, to do that on television and not wait for a movie to come out and be like, oh, it's going to come out ahead of,
and freaking have JJ, the genius, not have it leaked anywhere.
Because they told us Sunday. You're the one who
believe it or
broke
not,
the news.
and, like, some inside information. Yeah, now that the trailer's been released.
Yeah.
Like, I'm, like, for work, I was trying to get the trailer, like, or not the trailer, but I've been trying to work with Lucasfilm trying to get that stuff, and they were like, all right, the trailer's coming this day. And it's like, oh, that's cool. And then I would talk to other people at work. They're like, oh, yeah, our producer had to see it because he's the producer of Monday Night Football for ESPN Deportes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, everybody else had to get kicked out of the room. They had to switch projectors. That you had to sign some stuff.
Wait, projectors?
Projectors.
They brought it in on a projector?
They had to bring a different projector for that.
That's insane.
That's insane. And then, like, today, yesterday, when it was about to be fed into the ESPN servers, that everybody had to have their phones off. That it wasn't going to be fed until 5 minutes before the game. Usually they have the trailers sent to them like the day before.
Right,
or something
and
like
it's
that.
just loaded
This
up.
one was done 5 minutes before. And I kid you not, I was getting text messages from my buddies like, dude, I saw it. It's coming in 5 minutes.
My
and
God.
it was so secretive. I'm impressed. Because Marvel's pretty secretive. But
stuff comes out.
Stuff sometimes leaks out. This is... not only did the footage not leak out, but information hasn't leaked out.
I think it's a respect factor too.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. I mean, people involved in this project understand. Like, we saw how poorly they can be done with episodes 1 through 3. So I feel like everyone wants this to be done right. You know,
because like kind of like going off of exactly what you guys are saying right now. Because I remember we've had discussions before, like especially during the Comic-Con episode that we had, where it's like, didn't the fans deserve to see something else? And I remember at the time I was like, yeah, we should have got some footage, not some behind the scenes like stuff. Although it was really neat. Looking back on it now, like you beautifully said earlier, it's like they respect the fans enough to know it's like, look, you're gonna see this movie. We know you're interested. We're not gonna give you everything.
Not gonna spoon feed you.
We're not gonna Marvelize you.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to send you a scene here, a scene there, and then all of a sudden, once the movie comes out, all the scenes put together. Oh, that's the movie.
That's what's so intriguing to me, is that because I've watched it so many times with so many different people today, not only do they have different interpretations of what character's doing what, but it's also the fact that they're trying to piece the movie together based on the scenes they have from this trailer and the teaser. Yeah. And I've gotten completely different answers from everyone. Like, someone says that certain fight sequences happen in the first third of the movie. So-and-so says another major character dies. Like, we're all like freeze framing and trying to figure it out, and it's kind of fun. Yeah,
it's very fun. It's what I remember. This is the thing. Like, I remember as a kid, we would always talk like this after a movie. Yeah. But it's exciting when other people who are just like, hey, what did you think this meant? And they haven't even seen the movie yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's fun.
It's kind of surreal. It doesn't happen very often.
It makes me feel cool at work. It makes me feel like
it's in your comfort zone. It's in your wheelhouse now.
I remember when you yelled across the room today. He was like, Adrian, what's that group? I'm like, the Knights of Ren. Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's the one.
I walked up within 15 feet. He answered. I just turned around and walked away. I was like, thanks, okay, bye.
Not the Knights of Stonia.
Yeah, no. That's a slightly different thing.
The Knight Riders of Hoth.
And I just, again, minor note, John Williams choosing to do this is big, huge, because he hasn't done a big blockbuster in probably, I mean, Tintin you could argue is a fast-paced adventure film, but it's not a blockbuster.
I'm skeptical.
So I could say that, except he has the source material. He invented the score.
He invented the score.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but did he sit on his laurels, or did he actually?
I mean, I thought as bad as episode 1 was, I thought that score was incredible.
Yeah.
Like the chorus and like when Darth Maul at the end, like
that
music is pretty intense.
Whatever virginity I had left was gone when I saw that.
I'm just saying he has a way.
I want it to be good. Still.
Absolutely.
I'm not just gonna say it's good.
I agree.
It's him.
I agree.
Agreed. And that's why I'm glad he passed the mantle with other films.
Giacchino could have done it.
Giacchino could have done it as well, but I like that he passed on Bridge of Spies to do this, because I feel like of the two, obviously, he can't pass on Star Wars. Like, this is amazing. So I'm really excited about
this. This may be the last one he does.
It may be. I mean, for him, he's been slowing down. He's only been doing, like, one film every 2 years at this point, so...
He's done everything he needed to do for Star Wars, and for him to kind of come back when everybody, like, core actors-wise...
Yeah, they're bringing the entire
Where was
group together.
Face?
Who?
Leia,
she did come out in a frame.
She hugged.
She did hug Han Solo towards the end of the trailer,
which makes me wonder.
And she may have been speaking in the trailer too. That's a big theory.
That's a good point too.
I saw the funniest meme today with like Leia. What's her name?
Yeah, Leia.
But what's her?
Oh, Carrie
Fisher.
Yeah, Carrie Fisher as like her hairstyle, and it's like they put it next to like a Pomeranian who has like a funky hairstyle.
Oh my God.
It's like the funniest.
Oh my God. We'll have to post a link on that below. On that awesome note, I'm going to transition to our next little minor topic. So now that we've all kind of postulated as to what it could be, what's going to happen, what character's going to do this, let's project. Fast forward, it's now 9:47 on the 17th. We've gotten out of this 2.5 hour movie. What question do you need to have answered when the credits roll at the end of this film? Like, what is something that you've thought of, either by seeing this trailer or maybe in the last few hours of talking about the film, that you're like, I need this answered, or I feel like the film won't be complete?
Okay. I'm interested in your guys' questions first. I know the order probably had me going first.
No, we can do whatever. If you want to go first,
sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, like, is the original Star Wars universe like chapter now closed? Like, are we done trying to get like Han Solo back and not worrying about having these callbacks and stuff?
Is this gonna be the only send up, and we're going to usher in the next generation?
Kind of like what Star Trek did. What he did with Star Trek, where he brought Leonard Nimoy back. He didn't bring back William Shatner, but he brought him back for like the first movie. Gave the original like fans like their send off.
Their little bit, yeah.
And then he brought him back for Into Darkness.
Yeah, he did too.
He did.
But he tried to bring him into the plot, and
people love
and hate the
I
second
totally
one,
think you're right.
But he was definitely integral to the first film more so than the second one. So that's a good point, because I will actually feel it'll feel cheapened if all of a sudden they're all back for like a couple flights in the Millennium Falcon in episode 8. Like, all right, let's move on. We got some youngins who can handle this. Yeah, we'll save you for last because I'm kind of intrigued by you. But for me, what I'd like to know is it's kind of also cast related. Is what are the following actors doing that we don't see in the trailer at all?
Yes, I was hoping you'd ask this. Yes,
Domhnall Gleeson. Domhnall Gleeson. Gwendolyn Christie, Andy Serkis, Lupita Nyong'o, Max von Sydow, all these wonderful actors, up and coming, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said his name really quickly, but they are really quality actors, and they are not even used at all as an advertising device for this film. So I feel like we are only scratching at the surface of what this movie is going to be, and at the end of the film, I want to know that they had a serious purpose.
Yes.
And not just little minor roles because they want us to be in Star Wars. So I really want to see what happens with them.
Oh man, this is a great question. When I saw the rundown that you sent, I was very interested in thinking about. I'm like, okay, there's plenty of things. I'm like, what role does this new Death Star, also known as the Star Killer base?
Yeah.
Is it actually a Death Star thing? Is it attached to a planet? What is it?
Sure.
Or are Han and Leia still together? That's another question I was interested in. But I think the one question that I think I'm very interested in is, where has Luke been since since episode 6?
What role does he play? Because there's so much going around with him.
Because he's not in the poster, and that was released before the trailer the day before.
Great poster, beautiful,
awesome poster, love it. There's a lot of things that we could read into that, but I thought about he's not in the poster. Interesting.
How do you know he's not in a stormtrooper outfit?
True. Him and Simon Pegg are just doing little cameos.
It's like the one stormtrooper with a limp. Just
one stormtrooper with one hand.
It's like the one guy that's not running. It's like, this guy's hitting all of his targets. Who is this guy?
He's yelling.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to save you. No, I'm curious because I heard a lot of theories. This is something that was debated a lot at work today, and
dead.
I think he's very much alive, and I think they're keeping him till the end because I think he's the one character that will eventually, this is my theory, that eventually will take on the role of Obi-Wan, where he's going to be the mentor to the newest, up and coming Jedi. And I hope that's the fact, because I also heard theories that made sense to me, where it's like, you know what? What if he's actually a villain? What if he actually eventually lives up to that prophecy or whatever that Darth Vader and the Emperor said, that your family's doomed to be on the dark side. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The dark side is within him. That's everyone says that he overcame it in episode 6 and that's the end of it. Yeah. But what if he struggled with it? My theory is that I don't think he's necessarily bad, but I feel like he might be ashamed and hiding because I think he's related to Kylo Ren.
I think so too.
And I feel like he tried to mentor him and it went terribly wrong, Anakin style. And I feel like he, instead of taking to what Luke was trying to teach, he went to either his father, the Emperor, that's my theory. Yeah. Or he just became obsessed with Darth Vader's teachings or whatever. Yeah. I mean, if something is
depressed that he just killed his dad too.
That's another thing is if you're responsible for something so dark in episode 6,
that's an interesting.
You know what I mean? If you let it consume you, Anakin kills a whole village when his mom dies. That's what's the turning point for him. So what happens to Luke? Luke is a very key point to this plot, and I love that they've given us nothing.
Nothing at all.
It's awesome. So that's the crux of the whole plot, I think.
I'm glad that they're building him up to be the guy we should all give a crap about.
Yeah.
Because obviously in the original trilogy, if you ask anybody that grew up in that era, or even us, you could ask our generation, say who was the guy that you were just like, hell yeah,
the 30 walk.
The 30 walk. The Tauntaun. No, it's just it was most of the time it was always Han Solo.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, yeah, but the titles were A New Hope, Return of the Jedi. It's it was supposed to be about Luke.
You wanted Han, you needed Luke. Yeah. So now you're going to see that you actually still really need Luke.
And that's why everybody's assuming my theory is that Harrison Ford will either die or will eventually just retire into the distance.
There's a shot in the trailer that seems to suggest that.
Yeah,
and I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, when Daisy Ridley, there's a shot with her in tears. She's looking up, and there's a shot of this some human with a leather jacket, and it has hair, and there's snow attached to it. And I'm like, you know what? That could be Han Solo. Hell, that could be Poe Dameron played by Oscar Isaac. Hell, that could be fucking just Chewbacca. Who knows?
But as an editor, to me, what I think is a subliminal hint is at the very next cut.
Yeah.
If you're looking at his head in that shot, the very next cut in the exact same spot is Han Solo.
Really?
The exact same spot, and then it very literally cuts, or I think it dissolves right to his face, which is what upsets me the most. Is like if I caught onto that and I call that, it's gonna be so.
It's gonna be sad. This is the thing. I'm looking forward to this theater experience because imagine like a theater full of hundreds of Star Wars fans.
Everyone's gonna cry.
Everybody will cry. This is the thing. I nearly broke down when the Star Wars Celebration trailer came out. I remember you and I were in the same room.
That one, like you said, was just like an overwhelming.
It was overwhelming because like the music came on and everything. Like for me, like Binary Sunset is just like tear jerkers for me. That's probably one. I listened to that today this morning because I was so happy about it. I was just
I was doing John Williams Spotify earlier today.
Oh god, it's so awesome. But yeah, there's so many like everybody like let us know what you guys think because there's plenty of different things that like are Han and like I thought it was very intriguing. The Han and Leia were not seen together until the end.
Yeah, are they still together? Had they talked to Luke in a while, in years?
What's
days,
that temple
months?
thing that
what's
they
the,
go
yeah,
walk into?
What is that? Is that some kind of Jedi temple?
I'm like, that's too many flags.
Yeah.
You know, either somebody won a lot of pod races, or something's going on. I don't know. But I'm excited. You know, it's like there's a bunch of theories, and that's what's beautiful about this trailer is that it's so open ended.
Yeah, people are going to dig deeper and deeper and deeper.
And they're going to dig so deep that when you look back up, you're like, we were nowhere near where we were supposed to be.
The plot was over there.
I'm excited to see it on a big screen, too.
Oh my gosh. And I think if you can see it in IMAX or something equivalent, because some of these things were shot on an IMAX camera, go run and see it that way.
The trailer.
I do have another quick question for you guys. Another quick question.
Yeah.
Will you do the Star Wars marathon when it's released? 1 to 6 to lead
Are
it to
they
7.
doing it before the movie?
I believe they are.
I would be tempted if rumors are suggesting they're going to release the original versions of episodes 1 or 4 through 6 on Blu-ray. I would like to buy all 6 and do that at my house. I don't know if I want to watch all 6 in a theater.
Speaking of which,
it's
we're
a
going
lot of popcorn.
to Back to the Future marathon.
Yeah, you see 3 movies. 3 movies is enough for me.
That's
6 is a lot.
That's a rough
Especially
one.
with 3 of them being pretty.
And you have to start with 1, 2, and 3. And 3's not terrible, but 1, 2 are...
What movie from, like, this is, I know I'm going on a tangent here, but, like, what movie from 1 through 6 would you like to see on the big screen?
5.
Probably 5.
5? Yeah, I did.
4 or 5.
I think 5 or 6 would be for me.
Because I remember 4 when we were kids seeing the remastered. I don't remember seeing 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So I would like to see it.
I remember I saw 4.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing 5 or 6, but I remember that if there was one thing I wish I could see on the big screen would be both fights of Luke versus Darth Vader from either Strikes Back or from Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
And like those were to me, I'm like, I would just love to experience those where everybody's just like,
oh yeah.
Like we all know what's gonna happen, but at the same time, it's like I look back on those scenes and you watch them, they're so well done. I'm just like, man,
they're blocked perfectly.
I quit my life. Like this is so not fair.
You have to keep aspiring.
Yes.
upward and onward. No, on that note, we are excited. T-minus 50-something days.
Dude, we got our tickets, man. If you haven't got yours, get them now.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to miss out. You're not going to see it till January at this point.
Yeah.
All the tickets are selling out. Tune in either later this week or next week. We've got a few reviews coming up. I know Steve Jobs.
Goosebumps.
Check out the blog. We might have some posts for Crimson Peak and Bridge of Spies.
Yay.
Yeah, it's getting kind of hectic. We're excited.
It's
a good time
Oscar
of year.
Season, throw in James Bond in there too.
Yeah, finishing up some Halloween. Oh, by the way, side note, we watched Halloween last night. I finally
saw
John come from the
Did
Carpenter.
So good. So good.
It holds up much better than I expected. And I know you're a big Rob Zombie fan and like the reboots, but like there are some moments
in boobs in that.
Surprisingly so. He took that away from it.
Sex is the devil.
I don't know if there's any suggestions for new Halloween movies we should check out, but
I'm always going to recommend another Rob Zombie movie.
Perfect.
The Devil's Rejects.
There we go. So check that out. Maybe we'll watch that before next week and give our 2 cents about
Don't
it.
eat anything beforehand.
Good note. So I'll tune in next week for JP Leigh, Adrian Alderete, and Jonathan Fisher. We'll see you when the credits roll.
May the Force be with y'all.